There was a post, it literally described me, and I'm gonna say it again. I don't like all that toxic love y'all be talking about. Love me correctly, please. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. It's Hannah. For all the new viewers that haven't seen me yet, hi, and you are not subscribed and you're back again, just subscribe. Anyways, today guys, I told you guys I was going to be doing something while I have my little talks here and there, and for sure I'm going to be doing a mukbang. Yeah, oh yeah. I had to record a video, so I was like, let me just order some food and sit down and we could talk about some toxicity. So with my Tacobell, like I told them, no lettuce, keep the tomatoes, no sour cream, and whatever else that they be trying to put in my thing. No, I just want the meat, the cheese, and that's it. So that's what I'm gonna be eating while talking about toxicity. So if you're eating with me, if you're smoking a blunt, or if you're watching me when you should be doing your homework, let's just get into this video. Let me eat this first because I need something to eat. Social media has really hyped up toxic love. They have amplified the idea of two people not wanting to leave each other alone, even though they both know that it's unhealthy. And for me, I think that's just so twisted and beyond me. If you really think about it, when you know that you're in a toxic relationship, when you know that you're in communication with somebody who is toxic, the self-reflection of either your poor self-judgment skills on the person, your low self-esteem, you thinking that you don't deserve better, or just the fear of being alone. So many people have that fear of being alone, and I was one of them. Like, on some real talk, I'm very transparent. You gonna respect my candor one way or the other. But listen, I used to cry and pray to God that I just wanted godly friends to come. I just wanted positive people to come into my life. I was so tired of being alone that I needed some type of, like, I don't know what I thought I needed, but all I really truly needed was God, period. Like, that is my best friend, and he's more than a best friend to me. And since I realized that all I need is him, he then has been teaching me to just love on myself and focus on myself at this point in my journey. Knowing this, I'm okay with being alone. I'm very picky of who's in my inner circle. I'm very picky of who I'm allowing into my space. The more I just focused on healing and just learning about myself, the more I realized that not a lot of people deserve to be in my space. And I just want people to get to that point, to be fully independent until it is time for you to share your independence, period. Let's move on. I told you about the social media stuff, how social media hypes up toxic love, and you just don't really care about it. You don't think twice about it. We need to sit down and talk about this, because that's where the error is. If you don't pay attention to it, you'll never realize that you're in it. And when you don't realize that you're in it, you're not aware that it's affecting you. And when you're not aware that it's affecting you, you feel like something's wrong with you.
Why do I feel like this?
Why am I so drained?
Why am I feeling like I keep getting the short end of the stick?
Is this what love feels like?
You don't know how you got there. You don't know why you feel the way you feel. And we're gonna expose toxicity today in this video. Soft ones. It's warm, it's not hot. I don't think I like that. I just want to say that everybody has experienced toxicity in their life. Everybody holds a toxic trait. Everybody. Why? Because everybody has been exposed to a toxic person. Whether it was through a friendship, whether it was through a relationship, intimate, or just as far as a mother or a father or a brother, sister, so on and so forth. But some people hold more toxic traits than others, which allows them to be classified as a toxic individual. You follow? I have a toxic trait or two, 100%. Why? Because I was exposed to a toxic person who held a lot of toxic traits. So my first toxic relationship, guys, I was with this person for almost 4 years, on and off, and 100% I felt drained. The memory, they always say, you don't remember the details of everything, but you always remember how that person made you feel and the feeling that you got from the memory. memory. And that's 100% true. I just remember pure depression for the first like 6 months. I was on cloud 9, and then that changed because, you know, those toxic traits started peeking through. He cheated on me a few days. Well, at least I found out that he cheated on me a few days before we made a year. And I had never been cheated on before, prior. And I took it back. That was kind of like the worst mistake of my life, only because that trust was gone. Every time I think about that relationship, there's just a whole dark cloud. Like, I just want to forget about it. Like, I know that I deserved so much better, and I just want to prevent people from making that mistake of looking back like, damn, I wasted a certain amount of years for nothing. You know what I mean? Look where I'm at now, or look where I could have been. While I was researching toxicity, it started putting a lot of my relationships into perspective for me. And I started, you know, realizing that a lot of the people that I was associating with was toxic, and that they were hindering me from my blessings. They were hindering me from fulfilling what I needed to fulfill, and I needed to drop them and let them go. Like, just stop in your tracks and look around you. Are you around toxic people? Are you being a part of toxicity? I'm sorry, y'all, I'm getting hungry again. I can't just, the back of my head is like,
The food's getting cold. The food's getting cold.
Go. Toxicity. So what is a toxic relationship? A toxic relationship, guys, pay attention. A toxic relationship is a relationship that hinders somebody's personal and individual's personal growth. It displays abusive behavior, whether it is physical, mental, or verbal. It is unhealthy and unsupportive emotionally. That is all toxic. All right, guys, so let's now get into the different type of signs that your partner is a toxic partner. Everybody at least has one of these, but there are people who have multiple, and some have all. Number 1, if they are a belittler, they are a toxic partner. Now, these type of people, I've met a lot of them. One of my friends was like that, is like that. I unfortunately had to close that chapter. She was a belittler. So she was like this to her boyfriend. She was like this to her friends. She was like this to even herself at times. She was just a belittler, and usually these people won't hesitate to belittle you in public. They will not, even though you tell them 100 times like, yo, I don't like you talking, you know, like that, like, don't talk about me like that, or don't talk about this, you know, in front of this person, and they will still do it. They will still try to make you the butt of the joke, say that anything that you think, or, you know what I mean, your ideas, your opinions are stupid or invalid. Those are those type of people, and they'll often disguise their disrespect as a joke, like, oh yeah, I was just kidding, or like, damn, why are you so sensitive, or, you know what I mean, it wasn't even meant like that, I didn't even mean it like that, when they did. They're just covering it up as a joke. And these type of people are very dangerous because they bring a lot of fake energy into your space, and if you're not careful, you'll find yourself laughing along with their jokes to somebody else and being a part of the toxicity instead of trying to cancel that behavior. You'll soon start to believe that what they're saying about you or saying to you is factual, when in actuality it is not. The second sign is a bad temper partner. I've dealt with toxic partners who were angry people. They had bad tempers. They didn't know how to control their emotions. Leaning more towards my second toxic relationship, that was just a little bit different toxic. I just felt like I was walking on eggshells around him majority of the times because he had such a bad temper. Now, he would never like directly disrespect me, like call me out of my name or anything like that, but his temper was really bad. Like, I remember one time we were cooking, I think we were cooking breakfast or something like that, and I was cutting an onion. He told me to cut an onion and he was doing something else, and the only thing that was around me, mind you, I'm in his house, the only thing that was around me that I was able to use was a butter knife. Now, the butter knife did a sufficient job. It cut the onion. Now, because in his household he doesn't do that, you know, every tool is meant for whatever it's meant for. A butter knife is meant for butter, a steak knife is meant for steak, you know what I mean? He looked over and just had a tantrum, just started spazzing out on me and screaming at me, talking about, oh, why are you using that? That's so dumb. You could have used this. And then he snatched the butter knife out of my hand, replaced it with a sharper knife, and said, use that. The vibe was messed up. And I just looked at him and I'm just like, yo, that was completely unnecessary. You could have just looked over and said, you know, babe or whatever, you know, I have a sharper knife that you can use. You could have just went something along that line, but you chose to get mad and ruin the vibe for what? Just for you to kiss up on me 5 minutes later. It's the bipolarness for me. I always felt the need to like worry about what I do and what I say around him, because any little thing, you know, it would turn him off, or you know, he would like just get mad or catch an attitude or something like that. Even, you know, friends that I used to have or stuff like that, whenever I'm, you know, I make a mistake or I say something that's, you know, I'll take it, you know, they wouldn't take it to heart, you know what I mean, like he would. Like I said, people often describe it as walking on eggshells around your partner. You don't feel like you can be your true, authentic self around them, because you feel like they will ridicule you, chastise you about any little thing. They will snap and get mad, and sometimes this even leads into physical abuse, which is the next types of toxic partners, which is number 3, abusive partners. Abusive partners who physically put their hands on you or choke you up. Like even a guy who chokes you up, they're mad. And you know, us females, and I was a victim to this. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. Like I said, I'm transparent here. No and ifs, buts about it. I was one of these people. Like I've had, you know, one of my ex literally choke me out. Like I passed out. I passed out. And I don't think he was doing it because he was mad or something. I don't know why he was doing it, honestly. I think he thought it was a joke. I don't know, but there has been times where he has choked me to the point where I was passed out. Like I literally fainted and woke up like seconds later, and I'm like, yo, what the hell happened? That type of behavior, even if they disguise it as playing or whatever the case might be, serious or not serious, somebody who actually loves you and cares about you and cherishes you is not even gonna think about putting their hands on you in that way. And like I was trying to say, most of us females, I fall victim underneath this category. You know, they think of that like, oh, like that is so hot, he's putting me in my place, this, that, and third, like yes, he's in control. And it's this type of twisted perspective of how love should go, or how this person should treat you, or what you want and what you would allow. And you don't realize that that's toxic behavior, and he's actually indirectly telling you he does not respect you. You should never put your hands on a lady. And females, you should never, this goes for females as well, like I'm not gonna exclude you. There should be no reason why you're putting your hand on your boyfriend. Absolutely no reason why. Now, if he cheats on you or something like that and you smack him, I believe that's another story, you know what I mean? I've never gotten to that point where, you know, something happens and I feel the need to put my hands on them. You know, the only time I put my hands on my boyfriend is if we're play fighting and I be going in. But, you know, apart from that, like if I'm mad, I'm gonna walk away and I'm not gonna talk to you. Like it's just that simple. I'm not gonna put my hands on you, because at the end of the day, what's that gonna do? The heart that I have and the mindset that I have, obviously if I'm in a relationship with you, that means I love you. And if I love you enough not to put my hands on you in that way. I don't want to physically harm you. And it's that mentality that you need to look for in guys and other females as well. I love you, even though you get me so mad, I'd rather walk away than put my hands on you. So females, you're not excluded. Stop putting your hands on guys, because if you're gonna put your hand on a guy, you need to be ready for him to hit you back. You need to be ready for that hit, because I can't guarantee that every guy is the same and is not gonna put his hands on you just because, you know what I mean, of the saying, oh, don't put your hands on a woman. No, cut it out. Be mature and walk away. Number 4 is emotional manipulator. And that is one sign of a toxic partner, when they use emotional manipulation. And you will find a lot of guys that do this, ladies. Please pay attention to this. They'll sit there. Sometimes you don't even ask. You do something and they bring up what their ex did to them. Then they sit there and they tell you a whole hour-long conversation, or maybe a 30-minute conversation about what their ex did to them and how it hurt them and how it's changed them and changed their perspective on females and this, that, and the third. You ever came across a guy like that? That's pure emotional manipulation, because at the end of the day, they're trying to gain your sympathy and they're trying to plant a seed in your head to make sure that you don't do whatever that they're saying that their ex did to them. And half of the time, some of the things that they're saying is not even true. There's always 3 sides to every story: their side, the girl's side, and the truth. And what I've learned is just don't take the guy's word for it. You gotta catch the manipulation, and I really do. I'm gonna pray that that God will give you discernment, that he will start exposing the people who are toxic around you. This is not something that we should just accept and normalize. This is something that should be exposed and changed. You have the authority and you have the choice. Nobody is forcing you, even if it's the illusion, even if they give you the illusion and they manipulate you into thinking that you have no choice. No, you have a choice. Get up and get out, because it affects us more than we know. And I'm gonna talk about that more into this video, so just stay tuned. So the 5th toxic partner is going to be the extremely insecure partner. Those insecure people, no matter what you say, no matter what proof is given, no matter what the case is, they will never believe you. They will never take your word for it, and they will always remain insecure. Nothing that you can say or do will change that. That's why I treat whoever I'm going into a relationship with, I'm not gonna automatically not trust you, or I'm not gonna automatically accuse you of stuff. Like, bruh, what? Until you show me, that's when I'll do that, because I know how it feels, because I went in those relationships pure-hearted. I went in those relationships with no ill will, no bad intent, and they still turned around and accused every movement that I did. Still said I was with Tom, Dick, and Harry, and I was probably off with Betty, Mary Ann, and Becky with the good hair. It didn't matter what I did. It didn't matter how much times that I convinced him, proof. It doesn't matter to these type of people. And with people like that, who you show your loyalty to, who you show your commitment to, who you show your love, your patience with, your sacrifice with, if they're not willing to give it back to you, let them go. Period. Because at this point, knowing that, you're wasting your time. You're willingly wasting your time. We don't waste our time over here. It's all about productivity, all 2021. These type of people are going to keep you stagnant in life, because all you're going to be wasting your time is reassuring this person and arguing and defending your character. They will steal your joy, and they will remove all positivity in your life, trying to prove yourself, and that is not fulfilling. That is not something that you guys need to be going through. You gotta get up and get out. Number 6 is the lying partner. Pathological liars. They're pathological liars. They lie about the littlest things, from small to big. It could be the littlest thing as, oh, I scraped my knee on the way over here, and they really didn't scrape their knee on the way over here. That they just wanted to say that for attention. They just wanted to say that just because. Maybe if they say that, you know, you will cater to them a little bit more. You will show a little bit more affection, and then it goes right back to emotional manipulation. It like kind of low-key all ties into one another, and it becomes this big whole thing. And if you exercise all toxic traits, what do you come up with? You become a toxic individual in general. My first relationship was like that. He was a pathological liar. When I think about him, that's what I think about, pathological liar. So, and I wanted to make sure that I was titling him the correct name, so I went on Google and I researched what pathological liar is, and it is exactly what he is. He will lie about the smallest things that you will be like, yo, I don't even care. Why did you feel the need to lie about this? You can't depend on them. They say one thing, they do another. They're inconsistent. These type of people you obviously need to stay away from for obvious reasons, because they are not capable of telling you the truth. So how can you depend on them? How can you trust their word? How can you trust your heart with them? How can you trust your body with them? So this is a plain flat out, if they're lying to you about something as small as scraping their knee on the way over to see you, what else can they be lying to you about? Sis, I'm telling you, pay attention. And guys, obviously there's more. These are the main partners. These are kind of like the highlighted ones. I want to dissect why people stay. So one of the main reasons why people stay is because they feel like they have to fix their partner. I also was in the mindset of, I can help him, I can fix him. You know, my whole thing was, especially with the last 2 relationships that I was in that were toxic, I realized that I was trying to prove myself. And not even just prove myself, but just prove to them that there are still good women out there. And that was where I was in error, because I indirectly was trying to play God, and I am not that. What I would do is when they would sit there and manipulate me and tell me about what their ex did to them and how it made them feel and the struggles that they went through, and you know what I mean, how it made their life harder and stuff like that, me having the big heart that I have, sympathized with them. And that led to me wanting to prove and nurture them and say, hey, like, forget about what your ex did. You know, I'm not like that. I don't do that, and I move a whole different way. It made me want to prove that to them, so that will make me go out of my way for them. That will make me, you know, be there whenever they needed me to be there. That will mean me showing love and affection and showing that I care and stuff like that, and just doing all the necessities. Not saying I was a perfect girlfriend, because I definitely catch my attitudes. I'm very vocal. I don't let things slide. I'm gonna talk my niche, period. I just didn't know. I thought that there was something that I could do to change them. There's nothing that I could have done, and I wasted my time. At the end of the day, the only person that can change a person is the Lord himself. Why? Because he created them and he knows the ins and out. He knew them when he was forming them in their mother's womb. Point blank, period. I, on the other hand, I just met them however long ago I met them. And guys, I'm about to just expose some mindsets real quick, because some of you caregivers, including myself, some of us were thinking it has something to do with our own insecurity, why we stay and why we choose to be caregivers. Half of the times we're thinking, oh, if I could change them and they can change for me, I'm special. Do you know how twisted that sounds, just saying that out loud? If I could change them and if they could change for me, that means I'm special. I'm worth something. So you're tying your worth and your value on the fantasy of somebody being able to change for you? That is a straight lie from the pits of hell. You do not need to change somebody in order to validate your own worth and value. You shouldn't have to change anybody. At the end of the day, you keep doing what you're doing. You keep moving forward. You keep pushing towards your future, reaching your goals, seeking God, being good to people. You stay and you keep it pushing, and God will bring you the right person that won't have to change. That ride or die mentality that us females have and y'all males expect us females to have is straight caca, toilet bowl. Let's flush it down. You do not have to put up with anybody's disrespect, anybody's belittling, anybody's manipulation, anybody's abusive behavior, verbally, mentally. You do not have to degrade your character, degrade your dignity. You do not have to degrade your value, all of that, waiting on a person and waste your time waiting for a person to change when you have your own life to live. Absolutely not. You got me messed up. You must be out of your mind. Out of your rabbit mind. Throw the whole thought away, please. The second reason why people stay is for the sake of kids. Some people my age, come on now, some people my age and even younger, people are having kids at 14, 13, middle school, high school, early high school, out of high school. It doesn't matter. People are having babies left and right. I'm having friends that I didn't even think that were gonna have kids. They having kids and I'm like, damn, what happened? Some people stay for the sake of kids. Oh, you know what I mean? I'm only in this relationship for the kids. You know, I want my kids to have two parents in their lives, this and the third. Like, yeah, that's cool. That's a cute thought. You know, that's good intentions and that's honorable. But at the same time, you need to realize what that toxicity is going to do for your kids later down the line, long term. Because what you're basically telling your kids, easier and it's preferable to stay and deal with a toxic relationship than to walk away. That's number one. And number two is, why would you want your kids to be a part of the dysfunction that you and your partner have created with your toxic relationship? Why would you want to involve your kids into that? Instead of separating and allowing them to experience both of you guys outside of each other's presence. You lead by example and your kids will follow your example. So if they see you in a toxic relationship with daddy, when they go out into the world and they come across a toxic person that reminds them of daddy, they're gonna remember what mommy chose to do, and they're gonna remember what mommy chose to put up with, and they're gonna think, since mommy did it, I can do it too. And they're gonna think that that's okay. And that's where it roots. It starts from young. It starts from what you see, what they hear. You gotta be careful and you gotta think long term. You gotta think ahead of time. Do I want that for my kids? What example am I trying to put up for them? Another reason why people stay is because they often have this false ideology of what a relationship is. And most of the mindsets that they have and the perspectives go a little bit like this.
Like, oh, you know, I don't deserve love. Relationships are doomed to fail. This person loves me his or her own way. I just have to accept this. This is normal. Other people go through this. I'm not the only one who's going through this. this, or I don't want to be alone, or I can fix him.
We already discussed mindsets like that, and it's those twisted ideologies of what a relationship is because of what you guys see on social media, what you guys hear from your peers, or even what you guys experience through relationships and family members and stuff like that. You go into the relationship with those expectations. You don't expect much from your partner. You don't expect them to love you unconditionally. You don't expect them to sacrifice for you. You don't expect them, or even if you do expect them to do that, you're passive when they don't. And these type of things stem into insecurity and lack of self-love. You have to love yourself before you hop into a relationship, because if you don't, the relationship is bound to fail. If you know as an individual that you are not in the right mindset to be in a relationship, why are you getting in a relationship? Last reason that I think people stay is obviously entrapment. They feel like they can't go anywhere because of what their partner has told them or, has degraded them about. They usually pour lies out saying nobody else will love you, nobody else, will handle your BS, nobody will put up with your attitude, like you're mine, you're not going anywhere and stuff like that. And like I said, in an immature mindset, you might look at that and be like, oh, like he's putting me in my place, he's putting me in check, yeah, I'm not going nowhere, he's mine and I'm his. That's just a dominance thing, and that's a control thing, and no man who loves you genuinely will want to sit there and control you. No man is going to want to dominate you in that way. They're going to want you to have your own voice, your own opinion. They're going to want you to have free will. They're going to want you to do what makes you happy, and if being with them doesn't make you happy, they're going to be okay with that, and they're going to allow you to leave. And often with those type of comments that they say to their partner who wants to leave or is thinking about leaving, it ultimately plants a seed of doubt in their head to think, oh yeah, that might be true, I might not find love after this, and I might not be happy, or somebody might not treat me that one time that he did this, somebody might not do that again, or I might not find somebody. And that's all a lie. There are many, you ever heard the term there's many fish in the sea? It's accurate. There are so many people, there's how many states, there's how many countries that you have yet to experience, you have yet to go to. You can't limit yourself, and you can't allow other people to limit you. It has to start with you. You have to believe that you're gonna find something different, and you have to believe that you deserve better. And I want to say this, guys, listen closely, because when I was in my last toxic relationship, God was really showing me, glimpses of what my future could be. He was arising this passion in me to just want more, and to want more for myself, and to not be okay and to settle with what I was settling with. I had this twisted perspective. I had more faith in his ability to change than I had more faith in getting what I deserved. And as soon as I started realizing that I deserved more, I started losing faith in his ability to change. And that's where it comes from. That's where it stems from. Like I said before, it starts with you. If you change your perspective on things, you will start to see things change, and your actions will align with your perspective, and you will start moving in the right direction into straight positivity. So now that we got that out of the way, we got the signs, we got the different partners, we dissected that a little bit, but now I want to really talk about how it affects you, how toxicity around you affects you, because we can know that we're in a toxic environment, we can know that we are dealing with a toxic individual, but we won't really pay attention to what is being taken away from us or what is affecting us in the process. How does it affect you? One, it affects your self-esteem. Now, we all know this. Not only does it affect your self-esteem, you start doubting, what you look like, what you can offer, your character, your identity. You start doubting yourself in general. You start doubting your goals and whatnot based off of a relationship and what this person either does or says. And if you are single and you already know that you have low self-esteem, please don't get into another relationship until you realize your worth, because it is proven that 99% of the people that struggle with low self-esteem, they tend to get into relationships with abusive people who deteriorate their self-esteem further. And that is not the goal, and it's just a ongoing toxic cycle. Two, it drains your energy. Like I said, majority of the time you will feel drained because you're arguing all the time, you're defending yourself from the accusations from your partner, you are arguing nonstop about being disrespected, arguing for your worth. Nobody should ever have to argue for their worth. Like, I deserve better than that. Why are you treating me like that? Nobody should ever even have to have that conversation. It drains you, whether you're overthinking what this person, especially when you don't trust that person. It can cause you to overthink, and it can cause you to overcloud your mind and headaches and stuff like that. And you just ultimately in a bad mood when you are in a toxic relationship, because it does drain the life out of you. Another thing is it might isolate you. A lot of people, including myself, my first toxic relationship, he was very controlling. He didn't allow me to do a lot of things. You know, I wasn't allowed to talk to the opposite sex. And you say allow, like, you know, I have free will. I absolutely did, but he knew the type of person that I was, and out of the respect that I had for his feelings, I chose to listen to him. So if my boyfriend expressing to me his feelings, I'm gonna take that serious. If he's saying like, Hannah, I don't like when this person comes around you, or I don't like to see you talk to this person, or this person makes me feel some type of way, I'm not gonna sit there and, you know, minimize what they're feeling. I'm going to acknowledge it and try to change it, because at the end of the day, I value this relationship, I value you, and I care about you, I love you. So obviously I'm going to try to fix it. So that's exactly what I did. So it wasn't more about, oh, I wasn't allowed to or whatever. It was a more respect thing for me. I wanted to respect my relationship, and I wanted to respect him. He didn't allow me to wear certain things, especially when the summer came around. I wasn't allowed to go to parties, go to places. Like it was stuff like that. He was very controlling. And like I said, I never used to be like that until I met him. And when he started putting all those rules into place, I abide by them. But soon after, I started realizing that he wasn't following the same rules. It wasn't being reciprocated, and I didn't like that, and that was unfair to me. So that's when toxic trait kind of rubbed off on me, and I was just like, if I can't talk to boys, you can't talk to no girls, point blank period. I don't want to hear no and ifs, buts about it. But that was kind of the back and forth toxicity that I was going through. He made me isolated in a lot of things. I wasn't allowed to talk to a lot of people, and often some people just get so wrapped up in their relationships that it becomes, you know, they start to isolate themselves, or maybe it's even depression. Some people just are so depressed in their relationships, they don't want to be around their friends. They're not in the mood to laugh and go to parties and socialize and stuff like that. They just kind of want to sit there because you're so drained. You don't have the energy to do anything but just cry or just pout or just be negative. Another reason why toxicity affects you is because it keeps you stagnant, because of your mindset. When you are in that mindset of negativity, then you are not progressing. You will never progress in a negative mindset ever. As long as those toxic thoughts keep cycling your mind, as long as you keep dwelling on what you're going through and the situation that your toxic relationship has put you through, as long as you are allowing toxicity in your life and you're allowing it into your space, you will never move forward. That's why you will always feel like you are stuck, like time is passing you by, or other people are moving ahead of you and it seems like you're still in the same place. That is why you need to check your mindset, you need to check your perspective, and you need to check who you are allowing into your space. And it also keeps you stagnant because it keeps you from experiencing other relationships and other people. Do not hinder your blessings, do not hinder your experiences with meeting new people, experiencing new opportunities, and experiencing new relationships. But this is the last burrito I'm eating, guys, because I'm literally not hungry, but I kind of feel bad because like it's supposed to be a mukbang, but I don't eat that much anyways. Like, I'm a thickiana, but I swear the older I get, the less I eat. The next one is it poisons one's mindset. When you are around somebody who's toxic, who belittles you and stuff like that, like I said previously, you will start to believe what they are saying as something that is factual. That toxicity taints your mindset, and that is somewhere that you don't want to be. You don't want to allow them to taint your mindset. Your mindset is very strong, and the devil usually attacks your mind. So you have to be aware of these things. And the Bible says guard your heart, but it also says protect your mind as well. Don't just allow anybody and everybody to speak over your life. Don't just allow anybody and everybody to speak into your life. Don't just allow anybody and everybody to speak to you. Don't allow the information that everybody gives you to be received. Protect your mind. The last one is obviously affects you because even the slightest bit of toxicity, it starts to grow. And obviously the peak is being an abusive relationship, being physically abused, and then it trickles down to your kids if you have any. Next thing you know, you're in the hospital and you have to lie, you gotta cover up makeup and stuff like that. And it's just, why even do that? Why even have to go through that, ladies? Please. General, like, toxic relationship, guys, we have to catch these things early and we have to identify it for what it is, and it is just bad behavior all around the board. So I made this video, guys, for you guys to really pay attention to your surroundings, and I want you guys to really be aware of who you are choosing to be around. It is really no joke. It is not something to sugarcoat. It's not something to water down and act like and minimalize it. No, this is something that is straight black and white. Never put your guard down unless you know that that person is for you, and that person that is for you, you will know. That goes for relationships, that goes for friendships. Don't go out there seeking for friendships. Don't go out there for seeking attention. Don't go out there for seeking acceptance. The only person that you should be seeking your acceptance from is God, because he made you. He knows what you think before you even say it. He's the only person that loves you unconditionally and loves you with an unfailing love. So therefore, why not put your trust in him, and why not seek him rather than seeking imperfect people who are bound to disappoint you? Focus on yourself. Pay attention to the things that you don't like and that you do like, what you want to accept, what you don't want to accept. Pay attention to what you allow into your space. Pay attention to what you allow into your mind, whether it goes for the things that you watch, the people that you speak to, what you say out of your mouth, social media. Sometimes it's even just thoughts, random thoughts that pop up in your head. You pay attention to it. And if it is not something that is essential to your future, you shouldn't be thinking about it. Toxic love shouldn't even be a factor. Toxicity shouldn't even be existing in your life, especially if you want to have a prosperous life. Choose today to be at peace. Choose today to let go of the toxicity, let go of certain people, let go of certain habits, because you deserve better. You are wonderfully and beautifully made, and you were made in God's image. He loves you unconditionally. You are perfect to him, and he created you with no mistakes. There is no need, no and ifs, buts about it to seek acceptance from the next person, whether it goes from your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your friend, your mother, your sister, your brother, your cousin, your business partner, that coworker, that manager that you don't like. You are accepted by God, and that's all that should matter. Stay positive. We're gonna talk more about that in the next video, of how to take care of yourself, how to take care of your mental health effectively, and just give you some tips and tricks about that, because we definitely need to talk about that. That is a necessity, and I feel like a lot of young girls need to hear it. That's all I got for today, guys. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that you guys learned at least something from this. You guys can take something from this video. So if you are vibing with me, like this video and comment down below any video ideas that you would like to see from me moving forward. Follow me on my Instagram at VWYGHannah, and you can follow me on Snapchat at Hannah the Kid, 2 I's and 2 D's in Kid. Also click that bell notification button so that you'll be notified every time that I post an upload, so you won't miss a video. You don't want to miss out. You don't want to miss out on the things that I'm gonna be saying on this channel and the things that you could take away from this channel. That's it, guys. Let me stop rambling, and I'll see you in my next video. Stay blessed, guys.